Last take. Last take. I'm telling you, I'm gonna nail this one. Promise you guys. First take. Let's do it for the 10th time. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, SparStar Promotion brings you Who's Next podcast. I'm your director and host, Anibal Rodriguez, and to my right, I have my co-host and the director of operations for SparStar Promotions, Mr. Michael Gross.
What up, what up? Let's do this.
Yes, sir. Today we have a very special guest in the house. He's going to be fighting this Saturday for SparStar Fight Night 56. He's going to be fighting for the interim bantamweight belt. Make sure you guys get your tickets at sspmma.com. This is going to be an amazing fight. Please help me welcome the great Chris, the Gator Martinez.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you guys check out Logic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Self-Defense. They are our sponsor for today's show. If you want to get a free trial pass to learn some Jiu-Jitsu, some self-defense, they have kids classes, they have adults classes, they have women's self-defense classes. This is a great place to take your kids and your family, and you can get that free trial pass on logicjj.com. Welcome to the show, guys.
Let's go.
First take. Damn, I'm good at this.
That's right.
Let's do it.
How you guys doing today, man?
Oh, super good. Always happy to have Little Bill here.
Little Bill. So why did you change your nickname from Little Bill to the Gator? I like both, but the Gator reminds me of that one movie with Will Ferrell when he's a pimp.
Yeah.
Gator don't play that.
Gator don't play those games.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the nicknames, man?
So Little Bill was actually my nickname back home in Texas.
You're from Texas?
Well, I was born here.
Yeah.
And then when I was 9 years old, I moved to Texas.
Oh, okay. What part?
Laredo. It's a border town.
Oh, yeah. There's many songs written about Laredo.
Yeah, man. So, it's just it's a boring ass town. Like to get to the next big city was 3 hours.
Dang.
Yeah, man. So it was a big transition for me coming from fucking California to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? There ain't no buildings. There ain't no highways.
That's funny.
All you can do is fight.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I did out there. And then, so one time my dad, he didn't want to take me to go get a haircut, so he shaved my head.
No way.
And I went to school, and then I was in 6th grade, and like the 8th graders, they're like, I used to hang out with the older kids.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, Little Bill.
That's funny.
That shit stuck.
It just stuck
ever since, man.
Dude, that's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Like when somebody finds something hilarious about you, they give you that nickname and it doesn't go away forever.
Yeah, and I rolled with the punches, like
That's why my name's Big Daddy. Nah, I'm just kidding, bro.
I rolled with the punches, and then I ended up liking the name. Like, if I got offended after a while if you called me Chris.
Yeah. Who you talking to? Chris.
Yeah, I'll be like, why'd you call me Chris? I'm Bill. And I'm like, oh, wait, my name is Chris, dude.
What are you, a telemarketer?
You remember that George Lopez joke where his friend was fucking Ralph? He's like, fucking Ralph, get over here. And when they call him just Ralph, he'd be like,
yes.
That's me.
Yeah.
I love freaking George Lopez, man. He's hilarious.
He's great, man. I used to watch his TV show all the time.
Yeah. So you were in Texas when you were 9. When did you come back to Cali?
Oh, I pretty much my whole life in Texas. I think I came back when I just turned 22.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 28.
Oh, wow. So you came out back recently.
Yeah.
I don't hear the accent, bro. That Texan accent.
It's gone.
Yeah. I had it for a little bit. Similar story to yours. But I was in El Paso for 3 years.
Okay, that ain't that far. That's about 3 hours from where I stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still say y'all.
Y'all?
So, yeah, I still say y'all. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The Gator, where did that come from?
The Gator. So when I started taking jiu-jitsu seriously, the Gator roll and the anaconda choke was something that became real, like my thing.
Yeah.
And so at tournaments, I was just fucking putting people to sleep with the anaconda choke.
Yeah.
And hitting that Gator roll all the time.
Hell yeah.
So
you just remind me something.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you put the subscribe button. You grab that sucker in the Gator roll. You punch it up. Hit that like button. Comment. Subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram. Support us. Share that stuff. It goes a long way to support our fighters to get to the next level.
Seriously, subscribe. Do you want him to do that again? Come on.
Yeah.
Just subscribe.
Don't make me do it again. And I just might.
Please subscribe. This puts us amateurs on a platform where we can't really get our story out there. This is something that can get my story out there. Maybe hopefully find me some sponsors. You know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of amateurs fighters spend a lot of their money into this. So
that's something that's part of our plan. You
Yeah.
know, we want to grow with you, and it's going to help us down the line. Like if you're part of the SparStar family now, and if we can help you grow, and maybe you go with us to Combate, we can ride this road together, and so it only helps that we help you. You're helping us with this promotion. You're helping us by putting on awesome fights, and you know why shouldn't it be like that? You know,
Yeah.
pump you up.
That's what it is. Who's next podcast? Who's next? You know?
Yeah.
And that's our goal, to find out who's next. And you're going to find out on Saturday because you're going to be fighting for that belt, man.
Yep.
So I'm really interested in getting to know a little bit more about you and your story as far as what got you into MMA, what your goals are with SparStar, and where you see yourself going. So why don't we go into it and tell us a little bit about, you know, what got you into the fight game?
Yeah, I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've always loved boxing, mixed just MMA. I remember the first time I saw MMA, it was Royce Gracie against Matt Hughes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad was watching it, and then he's like, "Come sit down, watch this." So I started looking at it, and then I saw Matt Hughes, Royce Gracie, and I'm like, "Damn, I want to do that." Then the first fighter that I really got attracted to was fucking Diego Sanchez.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, "Dang, I want to be like that. I want to do that." I kept telling my dad, I'm like, "Dad, can we find something out here? Like, can we do this?" But over there in my small town, there really wasn't.
There wasn't anything?
There wasn't anything.
Was there
man.
any BJJ, Muay Thai, MMA gyms, boxing?
There was a boxing gym, but I wasn't too good in school. I was always fighting.
Oh, okay.
And not passing classes. So my dad, he was real strict on me. My mom wasn't my mom's here in California, but she wasn't really strict. So when I moved over there, it was a whole different transition. My dad was like, "You need to be home at this time. You're going to bed at this time."
Yeah, the disciplinarian.
Yeah. So, that shit, oh my bad.
You can cuss, bro?
Yeah.
See, I say shit all the time.
So, that was just, I'd be like, "Oh man, I got to pass classes. I got to do this. I got to do that." And I never would. So
Yeah.
I'll just be grounded the whole time. Pretty much just sixth grade to eighth grade, I was grounded all summer, every weekend. Yeah.
So then no extracurricular activities for you then?
Actually, my dad did let me play some football.
Okay.
And then he seen that I really enjoyed it, and that's when I started passing my classes.
Yeah.
But
I think in Texas, everyone's legally required to play football.
Yeah,
right?
if you're not
that's the one
playing-
exception.
Yeah.
That-
Especially that town. They're
Yeah.
actually known for their football players. I
yeah,
think.
yeah, especially the high school I went to. Well, there's 2 high schools out there,
Yeah.
which is Alexander and United. Shout out to my alma mater.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we were a really good team. They suck now, but when we were there,
When I was there, we
Yeah,
were the
yeah.
shit.
but yeah, so whatever, my dad never let me do anything. So then when my dad went to jail, so I ended up living in with my grandma, and I have an uncle who was 12 at the time, which I was older than him. I used to take him to Taekwondo practice. Right. Yeah, so I'd be like, "Dang,
So you're older than your uncle?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those crazy families,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's
So your dad went to jail, and then you took your uncle to school.
yeah, you know what I mean? That's how the tables turn,
I already know this family. You're my cousin, probably, bro.
You know what I mean? Hey, yeah, that's how it is in little small towns in Texas, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to take him, and then one day I was like, "Man, let me take a class." So I told my grandma, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take a class." And I remember it was a day of sparring, and then the instructor was like, "You want to spar?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right." So I put it on, and I kicked the guy in the head.
The instructor?
No,
the other student.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kicked him in his head. His helmet turned around, and I was like, "I'm doing this shit."
Yeah. This is fun.
Yeah. So, after maybe a year of training, I was a blue belt, which isn't that high in Taekwondo, but I would go do tournaments, and there would be no one in my category. So I tell my coach, I was like, "Dude, just put me to fight with black belts. I don't care." And then so the following year he did. I did a tournament before. It was a regional tournament, and I won. And then I qualified for state, and then I won.
Nice.
Yeah,
You're a state champion, Taekwondo.
Yeah, and then a national champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had only been training 3 years.
I'm scared of your kicks now, bro.
And it's funny because I don't use them in MMA.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I did that for a while, and then I started coaching, and I fell more in love with coaching than actually competing.
Yeah.
So I stuck with coaching. I'm sorry. I stuck with coaching, and some of these kids I still talk to this day. They're 13 years old, 14 years old now.
That's awesome.
So I got to see them grow up.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
coming here to California, I just decided, I didn't even tell my family. I just told my friends. I was like, hey, I'm going to leave to California and I'm going to try to pursue an MMA career.
So your goal from leaving Texas to come to California was to pursue an MMA career.
Yeah.
And you were living with your grandma at the time?
Yeah.
And
My
then
grandma and my grandpa.
And when you came out here, you came with your mom?
Well, my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were how old?
22. I had just turned 22.
That's crazy,
Literally
man.
2 days after my birthday, I left.
Yeah, that takes a lot of courage.
Dude.
You know?
And I had a really good job out there. I was also helping my grandparents. They own a bakery out there.
Yeah.
So I was helping them out there. And then I didn't even tell none of my family bye. I timed it perfect. I knew my family schedule. and I bought a bus ticket to come over
Freaking
here.
Greyhound?
Would they have tried to stop you? Is that the reason?
Yeah, I mean, because if I had told them, like, hey, I'm leaving, they would have made me feel bad because I would have seen my grandma cry, and then I would have been like, all right, I'm
But it
staying.
guilt tripped you, huh?
Yeah, so I was like, nah, you know what? I need to make, and I was just, my grandma had it easy for me. Like, I didn't have to pay no bills. I wasn't paying no rent. They gave me a truck.
Damn. You had it made, bro.
I had it made, and I was just partying all the time and then going teaching Taekwondo classes and then working and then blowing my money on partying.
Yeah.
Are you good with them now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah, so, like, I was just like, you know what, dude? I'm going to get stuck in this small town, like some of my cousins, and I'm not going to do anything with myself. And I left, and here I am now, fighting for a belt.
Hell yeah, man.
Was Fight Academy the first gym you went to?
Fight Academy was the first gym. I actually got a job at the Whole Foods that's on
right
Right down the street from here?
on Arroyo.
Yeah.
And I started there. I got a job, and one of the instructors that he's not there no more. Shout out to my boy Giovanni Vasquez. He would always come and talk to me, and then he's like, "Come take a class." And then I finally went. I fell in love with the gym, man. And Savant, Heinrich, they just since day one, they're just like, "Hey, man, you got some skills. Keep training." And I ended up maybe after like 4 or 5 months of training, I kept begging for a fight.
After 4 months?
Yeah. And Savant,
Give me a fight.
Yeah, Savant was like, nah, you ain't fighting. And then I kept bugging Heinrich. And he's like, all right, dude, go win 2 gold medals at a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I'll fucking get you to fight.
Yeah.
So I did it. And then he got me a fight. And boy, did I get a fucking... I got a big plate of humble pie.
That little reality check?
Yup. I got a big plate.
How was that first fight, man?
Bro, it was for Knockout Promotion, so they're kind of...
At the Metro Flex?
Yeah. So,
I love those shows.
It was at a warehouse. And,
Oh, it was one of those shows.
it was hot in
Yeah.
there. And,
Oh, yeah.
so I came out rushing the dude, rocked him, and then this dude just got me in a body lock, took me down. I had an adrenaline dump, and then next thing I know, I'm getting choked. And I was like,
shit.
I tapped out. It was like 55 seconds, dude.
Oh, my God.
Did you ever go back and watch that? Just to
Yeah, actually, I have a video on my phone, and I remember I watched it, and I'm like, damn, I've come a long fucking way.
What belt did you have at that time for jiu-jitsu?
I was a white belt.
Well, you can't feel too bad then, you know?
Yeah. I think they just threw me in there just so I could realize, like, look, hello, we've been
Yeah.
trying to
Asking
tell
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. And then the guy that beat me, he's never fought after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I bet he's kicking himself now. He's like, I could have been there.
Yeah, dude, But no, shout out to that guy, man, because he made me realize what it takes to actually fight,
Yeah.
In your opinion, what does it take to fight?
Mental toughness, discipline, and just, that motivation to stay hungry. Because this shit is repetitive and it's draining on the body, but you just got to always remind yourself, like, the reason why you do it. And that's my biggest thing. Every day I remind myself, like, this is why I do this.
What's your reason, man?
Make my grandma proud.
There you
That's
go.
it.
That's a big motivator.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And to do better than, I love my parents, but the goal is to always do better than your parents.
Yeah.
And, my parents never really amounted to anything.
Yeah.
And that's something I know this is like something I can do to amount myself to something and make them proud as well.
Yeah, yeah. MMA is a outlet for a lot of kids, especially like in the inner city or where there's not a lot of opportunity, like especially a small town where there's, limited options of what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
Especially if you come from a family that does a specific thing, like your dad's a sheriff, so you're gonna be a cop.
Yeah.
Your mom's a teacher, so you're gonna be a teacher.
Yeah.
They own a bakery, so you're gonna work that bakery.
Dude, and that was another reason. Like I didn't, that provided me and that gave me a roof over my head.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, the thing, I'm not speaking bad because we need teachers, we need bakers, we need these people that are essential to our society, and you're providing value to people and you make a living and it's great, but if it's not for you, and it's not something that you're passionate about, you feel like your soul is just dying, dude, little by little every day. So it's important to find what your purpose is and just go hard on that shit. And it seems to me, I just met you right now, but based off of your story from what you're telling me, you found your passion in MMA.
Yeah, man. I just knew, like, ever since I was a kid, like, I've always wanted to do, it was boxing, it was basketball, it was football.
Yeah.
But
you're an athlete.
Yeah, MMA just something where I realized, like, holy crap, this is what I want to do till I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Would you say you're like a natural when it comes to fighting, or did you really have to, train for it to become more proficient? Because those kids that they've never had a training in their life, but you put them in a street fight and they're beating the shit out of people, like if they're pros and shit. And there's other kids where like they were probably like bullied and beat up, and it took them a long time, but they through discipline and dedication they became extremely proficient.
Yeah,
where would you put yourself?
Probably the dedication and discipline part.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I knew how to defend myself in like a street fight, But when I took that first fight, I went in there trying to street fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I
see red, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I was one of those guys, like, bro.
I just ran after him.
Yeah, I literally did. Like, the bell rang, and I seen he was nervous, and I'm like, oh, I got this, motherfucker,
Yeah.
So I ran out there, and I hit him, boom, boom, boom. I was throwing hooks, nothing but hooks.
Yeah.
And then, with my head down, too, like this, And
that is a street fight.
Yeah. And then I guess he was like, oh, that's all he got.
Yeah.
He took,
Wrapped you up, put you in the gator roll.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then actually after that, Heinrich was like, all right, now you know what it takes. Let's start training. And then I was going to fight for SparStar. And then COVID hit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, COVID hit. I was going to fight. And I think it was like a week before the actual fight.
Yeah.
I was cutting weight. And it freaking... Right, I was like 5 pounds away, and I was already ready. I busted my butt. Heinrich had me like on a training schedule, and he's like, give me your work schedule and give me what days you're free. So we were just on it.
Yeah.
And then COVID, and I sold like 60 tickets.
Oh.
So COVID hit, and it messed me up,
bro.
And then I had to wait 2 years to prove myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. When COVID was happening and we were pulling that show, I was like, what are we doing? This is all going to be over in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Like don't pull the show. Like, let's keep it. Everyone's going to come out.
Yeah.
But, man, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody thought the same thing. Oh, this will be over in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 years later, 3 years later, like, shit.
Some people, it's not over yet.
Yeah, for real.
We were like we didn't train for like almost a year. And then finally Savant was like, look, you guys can come. So we were entering through like the back door of the gym.
It's kind of perfect for it on that little alley there.
Yeah, yeah. So we were kind of training.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
The front's all, blocked up and go through the back.
Yeah. And it was just like 5 of us. It was like me, Heinrich, Elwig Wasmer, Jay San Luis, who won the belt.
Yeah. State champion.
Yeah. And then Jesse Velasquez. It was just us, man. And then we allowed a couple more dudes to come in. Some Saxon guys.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah, some Saxon guys, our Zudia's teammates. And we were just on a grind for a while. And then finally things started to get back to normal. And then True Promotions came out. And I got a fight. And I hit the gator choke in about 1 minute and 59 seconds in the first round. I put the guy to sleep.
There you go.
Yeah. So
a little redemption for that first one.
Oh my
How did that feel?
Dude, I jumped on the cage, let out my scream, and I didn't stop celebrating it. I actually have videos of it. Oh my God. I was kind of embarrassed after. my coach is recording me. Like,
You're like, act like you've been here before.
Yeah. My coach was like, hey, go check on your opponent. And then I turn around, I'm walking over there, and I see him still asleep. And then I see my family, and I'm all, ah.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah. And then, here we are.
That's right. You've been super active since COVID.
Yeah. This year, I've been really active.
So I want to talk about a couple things, and they kind of go together. Number one is Heinrich told me you have no phone, and you told me you have no job. You're an amateur fighter, and you have no job.
Yeah.
Like, so you're just dedicated to. Oh, you want to talk about the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right, tell me about the phone.
I do got a phone. Okay. I didn't.
Don't tell me it's an Obama phone.
No.
I was like, this guy's dedicated. No distraction. No Instagram.
No.
It's a real phone, I promise.
Yeah. So no, but that does help. So I did have a phone, but then I shattered it. My iPhone, I shattered it. So then for a while, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna spend my money to get another phone. I'm like, I'm
a monk.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what, dude? I have an iPod at home. If I need to be on social media, I'll be on social media, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, I think that helped me pretty much.
Yeah.
To like focus and stuff.
You do have a phone now?
Yes, I do have a phone. That's how I talked to Anibal today.
Yeah, he told me that he doesn't have a phone. Like, he has a phone. He gave me his number.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you don't have a job, so you can focus on training.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me get into that.
Yeah.
So I was working at Whole Foods for a while, and then during COVID, like they were training me to become a manager for the meat department, and I was doing that, but like so during COVID, they were like telling team members and employees like, hey, you guys don't have to come in. We're not going to hold you obligated. So my managers took advantage of that, which I get it. They've been in the company for years. They're like, oh, we got this young kid. He's been trained real well.
Yeah.
And we'll have him deal with it. So I was fucking putting in 60 hours a week, bro, doing orders. And we have these veteran meat cutters who are with this kid like, man, we ain't going to put up with this shit. Like, and then I'm trying to make a schedule, and they're coming at me with these requests, and I can only work these days and da-da-da. And so I'm like, you know what? I was like, I ain't happy no more. I'm like, I quit. So I quit, and then I still needed, I was paying rent at the time, so I was like, you know what? I still need to work. So I ended up finding an overnight job, which was so easy. And I was working through an agency, so like,
man,
I didn't really care. So
yeah, they didn't care either.
Yeah, they didn't care either. They just needed bodies.
Yeah.
So, but shout out to that job. They really like understood, because there's days where I'd call out, and because I was training twice a day while working overnight.
Jesus.
I was working in Rancho, Cucamonga, and then driving all the way to Gardena, and then coming back, trying to get a few hours of sleep, and then go to Pasadena at Fight Academy.
Shit.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And I think that's what affected me in my like little losing streak last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were just burnt out.
I was burnt out, man, when it came time to fight. I didn't feel like I got dominated, like where I couldn't perform. It was just more like my body was burnt out.
Yeah.
I wasn't resting right. My weight cuts were hard because I wasn't sleeping. I was
Yeah.
just working overnight. Honestly, I was probably averaging like 2 hours of sleep every day.
Jesus.
Especially when you got to let your body heal
Yeah.
from getting beat up in the gym.
Exactly.
Man.
And then the days that I had off, because sometimes we wouldn't work a full schedule, because I worked at a juice factory. So like we had to produce like 60,000 gallons a week or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd finish that like in 3 days. So I'd be like, the days that I have off, and I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm going to play some video games and go to the gym, or go to the gym and play some video games. I'd go to the gym, come home, and I'd fall asleep for like 16 hours. Yeah, and like I'd wake up and I'd be like, dude, what time is it? And it's like 10 at night.
It's the next day.
Yeah, and I'd be like, dang, like, dude, I just wasted my days off. Like, and my family,
it sounds like.
And then, it was like a blessing in disguise. I ended up getting laid off from that job because it was owned by Starbucks, and then they got sold to Boathouse Farms, and then they cut off the agency.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, man, you know what? I had enough money saved up to where I could be okay, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna train full time. I said, you know what? This is something I really need to do, and shout out to my coach Chad George and Victor Henry. They always talk about like, you got to put your everything into this.
Yeah.
He goes, even if you have a job, you got to make time for it. And even though I was making the time for it, I just feel like me working overnight was just draining my body. Like I was being mean to my teammates. I was being mean to my coaches.
You're all irritable.
Yeah, man. Like I wasn't taking their advice. I wasn't being, how can I say it? Like I just wasn't listening. Like, I was just angry the whole time. I didn't want to do my extra credit work, like my cardio, my lifting. I just wanted to go to the gym and leave.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't happy being in the gym anymore.
Yeah, the importance of rest and recovery is crucial.
Yeah, man.
You will go into psychosis if you don't sleep.
Dude.
You start hearing voices, and at one point your body just shuts off, and you'll just pass out. There
Yeah.
are people that would be driving and just crash, because they pass out from exhaustion.
Yeah.
And for an athlete, it is one of the pillars of success is rest and recovery. And if the most important thing for an athlete is the longevity, not getting injured.
Yeah.
And if you're fatigued, the probability of you getting hurt and getting injured and not being optimal is really, really high.
Yeah.
So there's always a risk versus reward in everything you do. And the risk in MMA is a lot higher than, if you're playing ping pong and shit,
Exactly.
So you're punching people with your bones and your shins, and like you could get people don't understand, this is MMA, this is gladiator shit. This is warrior shit.
Modern day gladiator.
We ain't, this ain't messing around, this is real life. People could get very hurt, and these injuries will affect you long term. Like I hurt my ankle when I was like freaking 15. It still bothers me to this day. It was something stupid. Like I rolled it like on a curve or some shit,
Yeah.
Imagine getting kicked in the head.
Bro, or like, my body was just always hurting because I wasn't letting my body recover the way I needed to.
Yeah.
And then, I just told my family, like, hey, look, I just want to focus on this. And luckily, like, my mom was like, all right, shout out to her. She paid for most of my training this whole year.
There you go. So how long has this been?
It's all year.
All year?
Yeah.
So right now you're 100% MMA. That's all you do.
Yep.
Do you have any sponsors or any, people that are supporting you outside of your family, of course?
So my jiu-jitsu coach, he has this like little company called Lead Tactics.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting with all the police enforcement, and they're
Nice.
teaching them jiu-jitsu. It's
Oh,
kind of
that's sick.
Yeah, it's kind of and I think some of the Gracies are involved in it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I gotta ask him more about it, but he's
Yeah.
sponsored me for this fight.
Oh, yeah.
He just got with the Pasadena police department,
Oh, nice.
so they're doing like little seminars at Fight Academy and teaching them jiu-jitsu.
That's sick,
Yeah,
man. That's
because
sick.
they're trying to stop all that police brutality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually started this during COVID.
Nice.
That's when it started.
Such a good idea.
Yeah, and it's been working really good for them lately.
What's the name of it again?
Lead Tactics.
Lead Tactics.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys, if there's any sponsor out there that wants to support Chris's MMA career, make sure you give him a call or hit him up on his IG. What's your handle again?
Yo, boy, Lil Bill.
At your boy _Little Bill.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So the goal here is to support all of our fighters
Oh, yeah.
on their path, especially if you're this dedicated as you.
Yeah, man.
So what's next in your career right now? You're about to fight for the bantamweight. What are your goals with SparStar? How has your experience been with the promotion, and what's next for you, man?
First and foremost, man, SparStar has always been good to me. I can't say nothing bad about SparStar. Every fight, they've always found me the right matchup. But, me working overnight and all that stuff, I just never performed to the expectations I wanted to for SparStar. But this year was the time for me to focus on it, and I should be on a 4-fight win streak.
There you go.
I should be on a 4-fight win streak. I had one fight where a referee stopped it with like 3 seconds left because I was blocking. I wasn't even hurt.
Really?
Yeah, you can watch that on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll link that in the
Yeah.
description.
All right.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah. You give us your opinion. But I'll just say this: the crowd went crazy. They asked the referee to leave.
That's true.
You had to be escorted out?
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about that, because that guy that you were fighting against is a teammate of the guy you're fighting against at this fight, Jordan Azurdia. And is there a little bit of bad blood there, or a little under the surface?
For me, there kind of is. We kept trying to get this Lizardo rematch. We were trying to get it for another promotion. He didn't want to take it. And there was something about his coaches saying they didn't want to fight a fighter like me, which kind of offended me, because I'm like, bro, what is that supposed to mean? Like, am I not a good fighter, or am I
Are they
disrespectful?
scared of you?
I don't know. I wouldn't say
I
that.
take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I kind of did. I was kind of like, okay, well, you don't want to fight me. Your coaches don't want you to fight me. They know what's going to happen. And I've seen the guy around a couple times, and he'll come up to me and shake my hand, and I'll be like, hey, take the rematch. Like, I'll tell him straight up when I see him.
Yeah.
I'll be like, take the rematch. Oh, no, we'll see. So I brush that off. And then some of those guys from that gym, they used to train with us, which kind of gets me upset, because they all started running their mouth after that fight. It's you know, and then one of them still goes to CMMA and trains there. So I'm just kind of like, man, to me, it's kind of fake. You know, you used to come train with us during COVID. We didn't charge you anything. We let you guys open doors. And then now you guys act like they don't know me. They see me around, they act like they don't know me.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I don't want to jump around too much, but this, for those who don't know, Chris trains at both CMMA and Fight Academy Pasadena, two great and big gyms.
Yeah.
So leading up to your last fight with Eugene Provencio, he actually showed up to spar at your gym. What happened there? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, you guys offered me the fight for you. Actually, there was like 3 fights that they offered me. I wanted to fight Quest. They had offered me Quest, but he had already taken a fight. So I was like, I told Heinrich, I said, you know, whoever you think is a good matchup for me, let's do it. And then he hit me up with Quest and some other guy, and then Eugene, but Quest said no. And then the other guy, I think he was just like 1-0 or 0-1, but I was like, nah, I need to fight someone with experience. And I wanted that Quest one, but then Eugene, I was like, all right, I'll take the Eugene fight. And then, you know, training camp's going cool. I'm at CMMA. And then one day I showed up, and the first person I see Heinrich walks in the door first. And then I walk in, then Heinrich turns around and looks at me. And then I see like his body type, Eugene's body type. And I'm like, is that him? And I'm like, oh my God, it's him.
That's funny.
So then he trains with D-Rod, which is Daniel Rodriguez. And D-Rod saw me. I'm changing. And then, D-Rod looks at Eugene and goes, hey, fool, ain't that your opponent? And I go, yeah. I'm like, I train here, you know? And so Chad came up to me, and he's like, dude, I didn't know it was him. And I'm like, it's all good. He's like, you know, you want him to leave? And then Chad is the one's the gym, Chad George. He was like, do you want him to leave? I'm like, nah, I don't care. Ain't nothing going to stop me from whooping his ass. Like, he could see whatever I do, you know?
Yeah.
And
you can see the secrets.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to get gator rolled, bro.
Yeah. You know, and in that gym, it's tough. I was like, you know, if he can hang in this environment, then he's probably a tough fight. But he didn't really hang in there. So, because it's a lot of pros and dudes that are dedicated. And so I was like, all right, like, you know, this is an easy dub. But, you know, obviously I still got to go out there and perform.
Right.
It's a fight. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
And luckily, you know, I went out there and dominated him in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
Did earn that title shot.
Yeah, man.
So obviously we have a huge fight coming up this Saturday. Jordan Azurdia.
Let's talk about that.
He's worn gold before. This is his big comeback fight.
What's the story behind this for people that don't know? With Jordan Azurdia, Chris, and also Danny.
So in our last event,
let's set it up for the people.
Y'all remember our last episode with Danny Martinez?
That's it.
Go back and watch it if you haven't already. In our last fight, SparStar 55, Danny fought Michael Santiago and shocked everyone with an epic
upset
knockout.
Yeah, beautiful knee to the chest and to the face.
Exactly. To win the SparStar 135-pound belt.
Yep.
Jordan Azurdia had previously fought for the interim state title as well as SparStar title and won that fight 3 or 4 events ago. Anyways, he's been injured, and so now he's coming back. He's going to fight Chris here, and the winner of the interim title fight will go fight Danny in November. So we've got 2 just absolutely epic fights.
Yeah. Whoever wins, you know, fighting against Danny is still going to be epic.
Yes. Oh, I mean, three guys who could be champion, and they all deserve it. So
you know,
they're going to battle it out.
We're all experienced. We're probably already at that point where it's time to go pro.
Yeah.
You know, and unifying that belt's probably going to be like, all right, you fought some tough opponents. Let's go pro now.
Yeah.
So
that's your plan. You get through Jordan.
Yeah.
You take on Danny.
Yeah.
You win that fight, and it's time to go pro.
That's the goal. I talked to my coach Savon about it. He said, you know, let's get 4 good fights. We're already 3 deep. So we get this one, and then we knock out another one, and then I'll probably do maybe like 2 amateur kickboxing fights, and then let's go pro.
Well, we'll get to it in a second, but I know Tony's had his eye on you, so you might be combate bound.
Yeah, man.
There you go. Who's next?
Let's do it.
Exactly. You might be next.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, all these guys, you know, like Jordan, Danny Martinez, Santiago, you know, he's still good even though he took a loss. I mean, we're all ready for that level to fight for combates.
Yeah, so exactly. So before we talk about that, though, there's a little beef with you and Danny.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I want you focused on this fight for Saturday.
Yeah, of course.
But what's going on with Danny?
So you know, I asked Heinrich to hit up Heather. Let's get something in September, right? And they posted about Danny winning or something, and I just put on Instagram like, "Hey, Martinez versus Martinez." That sounds like a main event to me.
Yeah.
You know. And then
we should have a special belt. The Martinez.
The real Martinez. Who's the baddest Martinez of them all? And then I put a comment too. I forgot what I said. I said something like I didn't even like he took it as disrespect, but I didn't even say nothing offensive. I just put like, where's the champ at? Like, let's get it going in September. I'm trying to promote something for SparStar, myself and us, And he came on here on the podcast saying like, oh yeah, you tagged me on Instagram and I don't like that. And he finished me in one round. He better hope he finishes me in one round because that's all he got. So,
damn, fighting words.
Yeah. And honestly, we try to get it in September. He said he wasn't ready for this date, but this is my third fight in 2 months. They offer me a fight and I don't say no. I take it.
Yeah, I think he's healing up a little bit, but this is best case scenario for us. We get 2 epic title fights. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I posted on Instagram, that you were going to be fighting for the bantamweight belt, and immediately he messaged me. He's all, "Oh, it's the interim belt. Tell him I'm ready."
Yeah.
So he's ready, man. He's excited too. Whoever wins this fight, and Jordan also messaged me as well. He's super excited as well, man. So I told both of you the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I said, win the fight, and then you'll have your opportunity to talk to Danny on the face-off. So we're going to have that face-off show between the winner of your fight against Jordan and Danny for the face-off, and then we're going to have SparStar 57, an epic fight, man. So I'm super excited for this Saturday to see you guys go at it.
Hell yeah, Arzudio's tough,
so
man.
we got the Gator versus the Jaguar.
Jungle matchup.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
About to throw him in the swamp, man.
So we're going to get into the Who's Next segment and talk about a few of the fights from Saturday. But one more thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in the last year have got to see your personality a little more because you've won these fights, you've done these interviews. And I think a lot of people have latched onto your genuineness.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, the thing that always sticks out in my head is, I think it was 2 wins ago. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You said in your interview, everything's good. My dad's getting out of jail later this year. And I remember listening. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Talk about that. Is he going to be at the fight? Like, when are we going to see this guy?
Man, he's coming out in December. He did 12 years in prison.
Damn. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
in Texas?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, he bounced around. He was in Louisiana, Minnesota, and I'd go visit him. Yeah, but he ended up being in like a federal camp because he just moved drugs. So it wasn't nothing crazy. He didn't kill nobody or nothing. He was just moving drugs, trying to provide for me,
Yeah.
So he's in the camp. So it's crazy because I went to go to camp, and in prisons they search you, they pat you down, and at a camp you just walk in, you sign in, give them your ID, and
it's like lowest level, right?
Yeah,
so they're
like,
pretty open.
There's no fence, like there's no gate around.
They could just leave whenever they.
Yeah, there's just a sign that says "Do not pass this point."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, and you can take them like McDonald's, Burger King, and stuff like that, and we're just sitting on a bench and talking. But
I think it's called a level 1.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I think the top is level 5.
Yeah, something like that.
Supermax, where like you're 23-1.
Yeah.
Like 23 hours locked in a cell by yourself.
And 1 hour.
With a little tiny window way up at the top that you can't actually see. You just see a little light comes in. You get 1 hour in a cage that's probably the size of half of this room that you can walk around in, with other cages where people are walking around in for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And there's still no light. It's still inside. And then you're back in your cage.
Yeah, so they didn't have that either. They just had bunks. And they had TV, so you could watch TV whenever you want.
Man, they got phones. They're all on Instagram over there.
My dad got a phone. So he's seen all my fights. Like last year, he's seen me lose. This year, he's seen me winning. And so yeah, he's excited to see in December. So he's probably gonna watch it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The time zone is different, but
hey, if he does have an Instagram, let me know so we can tag him when we post it.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't have an Instagram. He just has a Facebook right now. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll tag on the Facebook.
Yeah. I'll send you guys that.
Perfect.
Yeah,
awesome.
He'll be getting out,
and we'll get him some tickets whenever he does get out.
Oh yeah, man! Once he gets out in December, he wants to come in and
Front
watch me
row,
fight.
bro.
Maybe by then, I'll be a pro, for combates or something.
Let's go.
There you go.
Well, I mean, that's a perfect segment into Who's Next.
Who's next?
Yep.
So this is just a little time when
this segment here is the Who's Next segment of the show, where we're going to talk about the top fighters and SparStar promotion and who's next for the pros.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, do you have any that are topping your list right now that you want to talk about?
Yeah, man. There's so many great fighters. The first person that comes to the top of my head when I think of who's next to go pro would be Dylan Morales, Mr. Pickle. I would like to see him defend the belt maybe a few times, but
We're planning it in November.
Yeah, I really want to see him defend that belt before he goes pro. But he won the title. It was an amazing fight. Two warriors just went at it. Christian's amazing as well, Christian DeGhetto. Yeah. He's also somebody that comes to mind as well. I like to see him win a couple of fights before he goes pro, just so he comes in with with some wins under his belt.
Sure.
And but I think the next person who's next, my vote's going to be for Mr. Dylan Morales.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I agree, Dylan. I mean, that guy is really good. He's high level at the amateur level. I mean,
and he just got his black belt as well. So
I've seen all his fights. I mean, that guy. I mean, I've seen his fights for SparStar.
Yeah,
I think they've all been finishes, right?
Yeah, they've been dominant, and they keep getting better and better, which is scary.
Yeah, he's out there, so I think he's next. I mean, it's all up to him and his team. Yeah, but he's at that level.
Exactly. Another guy is his teammate Michael Santiago, who did just get knocked out, but to me that doesn't do anything to his stock. He got caught. It is what it is.
It happens.
So,
I mean, I fought Santiago. He caught me too.
Yeah, there you go. So he's a couple wins away from getting right back there.
Yeah.
And I know we'd love to have him. Another guy is the guy you're fighting, Jordan Azurdia.
Yeah, man. I mean, if he doesn't, he should be here.
If he doesn't lose, you're going to say?
Well, and then of course yourself. So.
Yeah. Obviously, the goal is to win a belt before going pro. And obviously, if my coaches agree with me, and, it's all up to them.
Yeah.
They've guided my career, my amateur career, and they've put me in the right positions. So whatever they decide.
Who's your team? Who's your coach? Do you have a manager? What does that look like?
So my head coach is Savant Young.
Mm-hmm.
He's the owner of Fight Academy. He used to fight in Japan. He was I want to say a pioneer in mixed martial arts before mixed martial arts became mainstream.
Yeah.
He used to do
in the IFL, right?
Yeah, the IFL.
Oh, wow.
The team MMA stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then Heinrich Wasserman, who's fought for Combates.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I obviously have Chad George and Victor Henry. Chad George was a pioneer also. He fought for WEC, Bellator. And then Victor Henry, he's fought all over the world. He's fought in Russia. He's fought in Japan. He's fought in Dubai. So you put it all together, these dudes probably have 60, 70 years of experience alone.
That's awesome, man.
So, they're guiding me to once I started training at CMMA, that's when I realized, damn, this is the room I need to be in.
There's a ton of pros there.
Yeah, I got my ass kicked. I had to earn my spot there.
That's what they call iron sharpens iron, man. You have to have people like that to get your level up. If you're, gym that they're not really challenging you, then you're not growing.
Yeah. I remember when I first started training there, Victor Henry was getting ready to fight Albert Morales for a belt for LXF or something, or CXF. And I had the same body type, right, as Albert. So
put him in there.
Yeah. So
you're a sparring partner?
Yeah, every day it was just hey, you go with Victor Henry. And I'm like, okay. So, I got to show him dude, I'm serious too,
Yeah.
And I'd come at him hard, which I probably shouldn't have. And he just beat the crap out of me. And one time he sat me down, he took my air out. And I couldn't breathe. I couldn't
with what?
move.
What you hit you with?
So I took him down, and then I got up, and he just wham, right into my gut, his heel.
Oh.
And I went, oh, and I fell down, and then he just got up, started hitting me, and I was like, oh, I tap.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, motherfucker.
You can't tap from a kick.
Yeah, he's all, you keep moving, or I'm going to keep whooping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, God. So, he started instilling that in me, and then I remember, every day after practice at CMMA, I would sit in my car, and, I would almost cry and be like, do I really want to do this?
Oh, hell yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and I would keep coming back, and I think that's what I just needed to show him.
Yeah.
And then,
so what you're saying is he won that fight because of you and made it in the UFC. Right? You mentored him?
Nah, man, that guy, he's just he's a mixed martial artist. If you look up mixed martial artist in the dictionary, he should be in it.
Right there.
Yeah. He should be right there, because that guy, man, I just copy I get made fun of my Fight Academy teammates, because everything that dude Victor Henry does, I want to do.
Yeah.
Like that guy, I asked him, what supplements you take? He gives me a whole list. And then I end up buying it. And I'm like, dude, that was like $300. And he's like, yeah, I know.
It's like, it is what it is.
Yeah. And that guy's just always game me. You want to learn something? He's there for you. You need a body? He's there for you. And like, there's times where like, he'll just be like, hey, you ain't doing it right. Do it right. And then I'll be like, okay, he's good. And then also Chad George, that guy has always challenged me mentally. He challenges all of us mentally in that gym. And yeah, so I know what it takes to be at the next level. Being in that room lets me know I need to be at what it takes to be at the next level.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
So let's talk about the fight card for Fight Night 57.
Yeah.
I know you got some exciting fights, man. So
And
I'm
you know
really
what?
excited to see them.
I left out Danny Martinez for the Who's Next list. You're definitely on there too, brother.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, he was there.
So obviously we had the main event with Gator here.
Yeah.
We also have the ladies strawweight title.
Oh, that's right.
For the state and SparStar title.
That's
Hell
a
yeah.
banger.
Dude, it really is.
That's a banger, man.
The return of the Red Queen herself, Mackenzie Jade.
Love it.
She just throws down.
Yeah. I've seen her fights too. She's a man. I think she actually won that fight against Alicia Polanco.
Oh, that was a close decision.
I thought she won that. She was, man, she came out and just didn't stop throwing.
Yeah.
And then she's fought one of I'd say she's a teammate. Kaylin Carball. She fought.
Oh yeah, at Gooch.
Yeah. She that was a big fight too. Man.
That was the one that did it for me. I'm like, oh, I'm a fan.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Kaylin too, because she was tough as hell.
Yeah, she didn't consider giving up in that fight.
She took everything.
Yeah, and Mackenzie wore a white top to that fight.
Dude, it turned red.
covered in
With a
blood.
white top.
Yeah, it turned red.
That's when she became the Red Queen.
Yeah, I think
That's where the nickname comes from?
She's teammates with the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
really?
Black
Yeah,
House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And she's fighting Justine Ronas, who we haven't seen before at SparStar, but she's coming in undefeated, and and she wants that belt. So
there you go.
Dude, it's going to be a phenomenal fight.
The chicks always bring it, man.
Yeah, they're
Always.
super exciting
Yeah.
fights.
I think they just have something to prove to like everybody, like to the guys, you know.
Yeah, that they belong there.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just, some girls. We're warriors.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that's something like every girl, like even those girls at the highest level, they're always in there to prove something, because every girl fight is always good. Like they get knockouts, they get finishes. you know, so
Yeah, without fail.
yeah.
Well, we've got 15 fights, and they're all bangers. So I'm just going to pick a couple of my other favorites.
Yep.
Gregory Tomas and Marino Napuri. These guys, Greg has looked unstoppable in his last 3 fights. Marino's undefeated at 4-0, and this guy hasn't fought since before COVID. And if you haven't seen his fights, go back and watch them. I'll link them in the description. He is ridiculous. He in his last fight, I remember he just let the other guy get tired of punching him in the face, and then came on and knocked him out.
Yeah, he's a teammate of mine. I've known him for a while, but that guy just every time it's time when the lights turn on and it's time to go, he brings
goes.
it. All his fights are finishes, man. That guy's
He's so mean too with his strikes. That's what I always see. Oh, that
Like
was
super
mean.
aggressive.
He's like teeping fools to death.
Yep. And he's so clean with it too. Like his technique is just sharp, and he knows what's gonna land, what isn't gonna land, and man, that guy
Proficient.
That guy brings it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Greg's a great grappler and great all around too.
Yeah.
So like,
And Marino
Who knows
used
what's
fights
gonna-
at 45. This fight's at 55.
Ooh.
let's go.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You know, both guys are.
I'm predicting a knockout.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm predicting a knockout too. That's
Yeah.
my teammate. I'm going for him. This dude's finished everybody, you know, and he hasn't fought in a while, so I'm pretty sure he's excited to get back in there.
Let's see it. We're excited to see him.
Now,
Yeah.
what are you predicting for your fight, brother?
Ooh,
Give us your prediction.
Okay.
you know, Arzudio's a tough opponent. He's 6-0 for a reason. But I could see this fight. I could see this fight going to a split decision. I can see it. Me stopping it early. I can see it going all 3 rounds, but I think it's just gonna go all 3 rounds, and I think it's gonna be a split decision win.
How do you stop that double leg?
Claiming the center. I don't want to say too much.
Oh, don't let the secrets out, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but I'll just put it like this: I don't think he's fought anybody that knows how to get up from a double leg. I don't think they have that takedown defense where they can pop right back up, or find an underhook off their back to get back up. Mm-hmm. He hasn't fought nobody that can. They just accept the position being on their back when they take him when he gets a takedown, which he's relentless with it because he won't give up on it. All his fights, he finds it.
Yeah.
So that's something we prepared for. And I think he thinks I'm going to come in grappling too because mostly all my fights have been grappling exchanges. But he hasn't fought no one that's tall like me. They've all been around his size. I mean, he's 5'7", I'm 5'11". I definitely have the reach on him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's tough. I'm prepared. I train with some of the best guys in the world, so he's not going to show me nothing I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a top level fight for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's the main event. You know, it's going to be a great
I
fight.
think both of you guys respect each other, which makes it a very interesting fight.
I got something to say about that.
Let's
that
go.
Yeah. I don't think he respects me.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Well, then
I'll
that's
put it like
that's
that.
a mistake.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I know so. They had offered him to fight my teammate this year, and he said no, that he wouldn't be ready because of his injury. And then they offered him me, and he accepted it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he thinks you're less than your opponent. I mean, you're a teammate.
Yeah. So.
A little bulletin board material.
Yeah,
There
you know.
you go.
So I kind of.
So you coming in with a little chip? You got something to prove?
And to his whole team, because
There you go.
his coaches said that, with Lazaro, oh, we don't want him to fight a fighter like him. So I got something to prove to him and his teammates. I think they're all underestimating me, to be honest.
Look at that camera over there and tell him something, bro.
I'll see you Saturday, Arzudia. So
There you go.
I hope you're eating your Wheaties and having your vegetables every day.
That didn't sound like a crazy insult.
Eat your
Wheaties.
Eat your Wheaties, brother. But all respect to him. I'm not underestimating him. He's 6-0 for a reason. He has one fight that went to a draw, and I didn't think that guy that was that good off his back. I didn't even think he was really good technically, but he just didn't accept anything that Arzudia threw at him. And I think that's what it's going to take, is just not accepting anything that he brings.
Yeah.
So even if he puts me in bad spots, I just got to know that I've been there before in training, and, I'm experienced. I've lost before, and I think he hasn't felt that adversity yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know we have Chris here, but do you want to give your prediction for the fight?
Oh, man. I love both
Don't
these
put him on the
guys.
spot. Yeah, who's going to win, Mike?
That guy, he's here.
The thing is, I don't know. And it's I say it like almost every guest we have. I'm like, I'm a fan, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I want to see you win. And Jordan's my boy too.
Yeah, of
like I
course.
want to see Jordan win.
You just want to see a good fight, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I want you both to be able to showcase
Yeah.
what you've been working on. I want you both to leave knowing you gave it your all, and I want you both to, even if someone gets their ass kicked, I want them to be like, oh, I'm going to get it next time.
Yeah.
Because I see big futures for both you guys,
Oh, yeah.
and we want to keep you in the SparStar family.
Yeah, man. To me, this is just another fight. I honestly, the belt, if the belt comes with it, that's great. But this, at the amateur level, it's all about experience. Like, some of my coaches say, like, dude, you should just be fighting every weekend.
Yeah.
Because you need all this experience as much as you can get before you go pro.
Yeah.
So that's why this year I stood active. This is my third fight in 2 months.
Yeah.
So I'm out here. He hasn't been active, so I feel like I'm one step ahead. And
He's going to have a little ring rust coming in.
He's been looking at my stories too.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Hey,
I'm
there
like,
you go.
okay, I'm in your head already, brother. So yeah, man. I'm excited. I think he thinks he knows what I bring because I've trained with his teammates. But they don't know my game. I used to whip their asses too. So this is on camera and they know it. They're not gonna deny it. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready, man. I just want to go out there Saturday. It's just to me, it's another fight. It ain't nothing special. That's the way I look at it. If a belt comes with it, that's great. But I'm here to fight. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, personally, I'm a politician and a promoter, so I just want it to be an amazing fight.
Yep.
And guys, make sure you buy a ticket to see this fight. It's
And
this Saturday.
Use code Martinez in the promo when you check out.
There you go. There you go. It's sspmma.com. This fight's going to be at the Amazing Commerce Casino in Commerce, California. Gates open at 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock, first fight at 5.
First fight at 5.
We've got 15 fights, so we got to get them
15
rolling.
15 amazing fights. It's going to be nonstop. If you've ever been to a SparStar fight night, you know what it is. It's electric. It's amazing. We got some great fighters, some amazing fights, some knockouts, some tap outs, some wars that go all 3 rounds. It's always jam packed with people, and I love those models, of course. The ring girls.
Me too. Hey, I like them too.
So guys, make sure you get your tickets. Is there anything else you want to say? Any other fights you want to talk about, Mike?
I mean, I want to shout out all these guys. Bianca Fernandez and Mia Delgado is going to be a banger. Weston Quiros, Chris Perez. Louderback versus Fardad's going to be sick. George Ariano out of the Den taking on, I'm going to mess up his name. I'm sorry, bro. Thien Lu Win.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, out of Fight Science. Both these guys are coming to brawl. Last time we saw George, he had a knockout at EFL. So it's we're just filled with bangers. Riley Beeson, Quentin Camacho. There's so many guys.
Oh, hell yeah. Peso Pluma.
Yep. I want to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to. The one I'm real excited about is that Quest kid.
Quest Truxton?
No, Weston. I'm sorry.
Oh, Weston.
Oh,
Yeah. I've seen him fight a couple of times. He's had a really tough
He fought
fight.
against Tony once. I remember that.
Dude, and he like for a minute he had us all like, whoa! He like shot across the cage, dumped him on his butt. And we're like, no one does that to Tony.
Yeah, I just feel like he's had a couple tough fights. He fought at another promotion too, and he fought a really good guy. He has some amazing jiu-jitsu though. That guy, man.
Yeah.
Some high level jiu-jitsu.
I'm excited to see us fight too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you go out there and get a sub.
And I know this isn't part of our card, but you all can watch on your phones in the audience. Royce Butler, who at our last event signed, went
with
straight
Combate.
from SparStar to Combate. Yeah, he's making his debut with Combate. And,
that's right.
That'll be televised.
When is that?
The same night as our fight.
Oh, man.
So maybe you can have it on your phone.
Yeah, it's gonna
obviously
be on
you
Paramount
want to
Plus.
be in the building for SparStar,
Yeah.
but we gotta love and support our boy Royce.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him. I've seen him fight too. He's really, really good. Good
He's
movement,
sick.
good footwork, good striking. And then he surprised me with his grappling. I trained with Drake now at CM, and he moved over there.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he fought Arzudia too, so I got to get a little feel of what he felt in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought Drake was gonna beat Hoist, to be honest, because Drake and Hoist fought for SparStar.
Oh, Royce.
Royce. I'm sorry. I thought it was Royce.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's how it's pronounced if he was a Brazilian.
Yeah. Okay. So Royce.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Drake was gonna win that, and then Royce came out and out grappled him and finished him.
Yeah, Royce is such an anomaly. Like he has that striking background, but then he just learned to grapple, and
he's a natural when it comes to that.
Yeah, not even my teammate Jonathan Powell was able to finish Drake, which was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Drake's a stud for sure.
Yeah. So I got to train with him a couple times. Like he was kind of like one of my main training partners for this Arzudia fight because he felt that body type and stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got a good game plan, man. So.
Awesome, guys. Well,
Saturday night.
It's Saturday night. It's coming. We're 4 days away. I'm super excited for it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do a little jab to that subscribe button. Follow it up with the right hand for that like, and make sure you leave a comment. Follow SparStar's YouTube, part of the Dreams to Reality Network. You can also follow the Dreams to Reality podcast and the Dreams to Reality Network page. Where can we find you again, Chris?
At your boy _ Little Bill.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yep.
And who's next?
What's next?
Who knows?